where the name Mesopotamia came from? How much of it have you studied? Lily, do you know? What can you tell me about Mesopotamia then before we start? Why was it so important? Why do we study it?
I think it's historical region, so it's important for us to study.
Yeah, it's a historical region. Very important things happen there. Okay, so the word Mesopotamia, okay, is Greek. Okay, it's from the Greek language, and it literally means between two rivers. Okay, so you had I think it's the Euphrates and the something else river. The area of Mesopotamia was an area in what is modern day kind of Iraq, Syria, in the Middle East, okay, where two rivers came in, and they developed, due to these two rivers in a semi-arid environment, they were able to develop farmland, okay, and it is believed that is where one of the first ancient civilizations actually started.
The story of writing, astronomy, and law. The story of civilization itself begins in one place. Not Egypt, not Greece, not Rome, but Mesopotamia. Mesopotamia is an exceedingly fertile plain situated between the Tigris and the Euphrates rivers.
Okay, there you go. So you've got the Tigris and you've got the Euphrates rivers, okay? This says here in Greek, it literally translates to the land between two rivers, okay?
For 5 millennia, this small strip of land situated in what is today Iraq, Kuwait, and Syria fostered innovations that would change the world forever. Inhabited for nearly 12,000 years, Mesopotamia's stable climate, rich soil, and steady supply of fresh water made it ideal for agriculture to develop and thrive.
Okay, so you've got agriculture here, okay? So things that are super, super important for ancient civilizations, like food, agriculture, fishing, economy, making money, trade, okay? These things are super, super important back then when life was slightly more, when civilization, I guess, was slightly more simple when compared to the modern day.
About 6,000 years ago, seemingly overnight, some of these agricultural settlements blossomed into some of the world's first cities. In the period between 4000 and 3100 BC, Mesopotamia was dotted with a constellation of competing city-states. At one point, they were unified under the Akkadian Empire and then broke apart, forming the empires of Assyria and Babylon.
Okay, has anyone heard of the Assyrian or the Babylon Empire?
I've heard about Babylon.
Yeah, Babylon is, I think, the slightly more famous. Yeah, oh, you've studied it, okay.
Despite near constant warfare, innovation and development thrived in ancient Mesopotamia. They built on a monumental scale, from palaces to ziggurats. Mammoth temples served as ritual locations to commune with the gods. They also developed advanced mathematics, including a base 60 system that created a 60-second minute, a 60-minute hour, and a 360-degree circular angle.
Okay, so think about this, guys. When you have a lesson that lasts a full hour, okay, and you think it's going on for a long time, you need to blame the Mesopotamians for coming up with it, okay?
The Babylonians used their sophisticated system of mathematics to map and study the sky. They divided one Earth year into 12 periods. Each was named after the most prominent constellations in the heavens, a tradition later adopted by the Greeks to create the zodiac. They also divided the week into 7 days, naming each after their 7 gods embodied by the 7 observable planets in the sky. But perhaps the most impactful innovation to come out of Mesopotamia is literacy. What began as simple pictures scrawled onto wet clay to keep track of goods and wealth developed into a sophisticated writing system by the year 3200 BC. This writing system would come to be called cuneiform in modern times and proved so flexible that, Over the span of 3,000 years, it would be adapted for over a dozen different major languages and countless uses, including recording the law of the Babylonian king Hammurabi, which...
Okay, who can tell me something about King Hammurabi? Does anyone know anything at all about him?
When I study Islam, that he's a person who invents rules.
Yeah, he's the man that invented the modern, kind of the slightly more modern justice system. Yeah, really, really good answer. Yeah, well done.
Law of the Babylonian king Hammurabi, which formed the basis of a standardized justice system.
Yeah, so you've got the Code of Hammurabi there, okay? So you've got an eye for an eye and a tooth for a tooth, okay? So what can you tell anything about the classes in Mesopotamia? Do you know anything about how the civilization was ranked, or who was important and who wasn't? Lily, do you have any ideas? Mesopotamia. Okay, so basically with Mesopotamia, in a lot of the kingdoms, including that under that of King Hammurabi, okay, they had different layers. So you had the kings and queens, and then you had the noblemen and the priests. Then you had the kind of middle class, okay, and the like slightly rich, okay people. And then you had like the peasants and the slaves at the bottom, okay? So one thing that is important about the Code of Hammurabi is it wasn't all even, okay? So you would think an eye for an eye, a tooth for a tooth, okay, means if you attack someone and they lose an eye, the justice system of that day would mean that you would also lose an eye in return, okay? However, there was disparities and it was uneven during this time, because if, for example, you were a priest, okay, and you took the eye of a peasant, of somebody who's 2 levels below you in the class system, then you are going to suffer significantly less recourse or punishment than, for example, if you were a peasant that ended up taking the eye of a priest or someone above you, okay? So the class system was very, very important with the justice system, okay?
But Mesopotamia's success became its undoing. Babylon, in particular, proved too rich a state to resist outside envy. In 539 BC, Persian king Cyrus conquered Babylon and sealed his control over the entirety of Mesopotamia. For centuries, this area became a territory of foreign empires.
Okay, so that last phrase there is
this area became a territory of foreign empires.
Of foreign empires.
I think is like the king of another country come and like control this country.
Yeah, okay, yeah, awesome answer. Okay, yeah. So a foreign empire is an empire run by somebody that is not from Mesopotamia, okay? If it was a local empire, yes, it would be run by somebody who was native to Mesopotamia and someone who lived there, okay? But foreign empires, it means that lots of armies and people and kings from all over the region and that part of the world are coming in and ruling that area of land, okay?
Eventually, Mesopotamia would fade, like its kings, into the mist of history, and its cities would sink beneath the sands of Iraq. But its ideas would prevail in literacy, law, math, astronomy, and the gift of civilization itself.